I struggle. I think sometimes my videos are too mean. Like I did these Riyadh Comedy Festival videos and my anger came out. And I wondered if, like the 12 or 13 of you that watch these regularly, maybe it's 30 by now, that watch these regularly, if you thought that maybe that I don't like Muslim people or something. And it's not true. Saudi Arabia is ruled by a king. It can be pretty severe. Yeah, maybe the Muslims think that Jesus is going to come back and clean up. But it's not the same thing as knowing that he is our king and our God. And that, his Father is the maker of all things. And this is God. And, the King of Gods is Jesus. And all the rest of the things that we call gods are really fallen angels. And that, sons of God that failed God and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes I think that I'm too mean in my videos. Or too vulgar. Like there's a video that comes out on Monday, which will be November 3rd, and it's vulgar, and you can see that it gets lewd and vulgar, and I bleep everything, but I say some pretty disgusting things that you can catch through the bleeps, and I kept vacillating whether or not I was going to leave it up, and then I decided I'm going to leave it up. So if you want to see the video that's right, the next video will be that video. I think the thumbnail is like Chainsaw Man, because it's a very horny show. And I did a review of it. Maybe you saw that. It's not up anymore, but I did like a review of it because somebody put the whole thing up on YouTube for free, and I saw that and I was like, oh, this is just about making blood pacts with demons. That's what the whole show's about. Aimed at the youth. And so now as me recording this, the Chainsaw Man movie came out. Okay. And it's Chainsaw Man's a show about horny teenagers. And in terms of like demonic possession and stuff like that, if I had demons anywhere, it was demons in my dick. Because I used to have a lot of fun with that thing. I used to get into a lot of trouble. And I had cohorts in that, obviously. It's not alone. I know there's an edging and gooning epidemic now. But I was pretty good at keeping hands off of myself. I remember I had 6 years of celibacy, and I wasn't in a relationship, and I wasn't doing anything or anyone. And then I had a friend who was a bad friend. I'm not even friends with the guy anymore. And he found out about the 6 years of celibacy, and he tried to get me laid. And I wasn't interested in it, so he kept trying to set me up to get laid. He thought he was helping me, but I think really he's an asshole. So there's a lot of, where am I going with this? I'm going to talk about origins of this channel, like the name, which I've done before, but that'll come up later. But for now, I want to talk about me continually deleting videos. I have videos into April 10th of 2026. I put a video up last weekend and it had Resident Evil movie as the thumbnail, and I left it up. I think 9 people saw it, and I took it down and I just said, hey, here's me showing my work. Here's my queue of videos that I have scheduled into next year, into March or something. Now I have videos scheduled into April 10th and more to come. So I feel like a lot of those videos, I don't know what's in them, and a lot of times I'm too mean. So this is the video where I say, yeah, I'm sorry that a lot of my videos are too mean, and probably more of them will come down in time. We'll see. I want God to be more loud and clear to me. It's like one thing to give up stuff for God, but it's another thing to say, maybe you got to tell me if you don't like what I'm doing. I have free will to decide things. We're free in everything to do what we want. But if we want God's help, we have to do things more according to His will. So I'm thinking that some of my videos are not necessarily according to His will, but I feel like they're honest, and sometimes they're a little crude or crass or vulgar or all of these things. And I do feel as though that's acceptable. But sometimes I go too far, and I feel like a lot of times I'm too mean. Like I said up front, the Riyadh Comedy Festival videos, I feel like I was too mean. Some of the things I said about the comedians. And then somebody left a comment about Dave Chappelle in one of my Riyadh Comedy Festival videos. And they said, do you think that's the real Dave? I think that's the demon-possessed Dave Chappelle. I think Dave Chappelle is a compromised guy. And he's had to wear the dress several times. I think Bill Burr is a compromised guy. I mean, you can't pretend, unless you have a lot of money, you wouldn't know what it's like to be in a position where you're offered so much money and then, you know, like, well, we want you to change some things that you do and we'll give you this money and it'll change your life. And you see the world falling apart. And, well, maybe you would take $1 million. $1 million could get you a house or two, right? If you need one. Or whatever. Or maybe it's just greed. But sometimes I feel like my videos aren't loving enough. It sounds kind of gay, right? I mean it though. Not the gay part, the loving part. I feel like sometimes my videos are too mean and judgmental and without love. So I wanted to kind of stumble through this video unrehearsed and talk about how, yeah, I feel like a lot of my videos coming up aren't very loving. Some of the information is good. Sometimes I think it's funny. Sometimes in my own probably vanity, I'm like, maybe that's not the nicest thing, but it's funny or pretty sharp. So I want to leave something in because I think it's vain, I guess, or selfish. And there's a lot of videos between now and April. Between now and April, that's like 5-6 months away, right? Because this is November. So I'm sure I'm sorry. I am. And videos might come down, but you know, if I do things like one of the videos I liked, I did a Halloween video where I had all these zombie babies because Halloween Spirit has this, I just found it out this year. They've had this ongoing tradition where every year they have a new batch of zombie dead babies, which are like foam. They have like these foam-filled rubber baby things. That is so stupid. And they're like dead babies, and they have horns and they have vampire teeth, and they're eating their own limbs. It's funny. I cackled out loud when I saw it, and I was like, "This is disgusting." But it's also funny because people look forward to it. I mean, if you saw that video, I used other people's YouTube thumbnails about Zombie Baby Collection 2023, Zombie Baby Collection 2021. So it's been a tradition for the last several years. The Halloween Spirit would sell you dead baby things. And I thought that was funny. And I dug out an old prop of this bloody suit thing that I had. And I had fun, you know, hamming it up. For better or worse. Probably for worse. And the videos that I like don't get nearly as many views as I would like them to. Usually when there's a video that I particularly like, it doesn't really get a lot of views. I think my highest viewed video is a video where I talk about how all your favorite Hollywood celebrity women are androgens. And I think the reason that video has 1K views is because it says Mr. E in the title and people remember who Mr. E is, so there's not a lot of people looking for Mr. E videos, so that video has like 1,000 and however many views. It keeps going up. And then another video, I think the second most watched video, has like 124 views, which isn't a lot, and that's Sam Hyde being ravished by trans man, which is a woman with breastectomies. And then she spits in his mouth and it looks like a dude. Tries really hard to look like a dude. And it's weird, and you wonder, like, why would Sam do a video like that? And I feel like even that's too judgmental. My October 31st video was supposed to be a 4-hour and 8-minute Sam Hyde documentary where I just showed you I'm not even in it. I don't say one word. And it's just a compilation showing you a whole lot of incriminating stuff about Sam Hyde, that he's weird. But I keep moving that video around. And what, you want a spooky Halloween video? That was mine. And instead I gave you something that was supposed to go up in April. And I switched them. And now the Sam Hyde video has been pushed back to April because I feel like, I don't know if that's the kind of video that I want to do. Like, do I really want to do 4 hours of incriminating evidence that Sam Hyde was some kind of pervert guy and it got him into trouble, and that's probably why he's a Fed, and that he, you know, all the things that were bad about him. I feel bad about that. I don't know why. Also, maybe it's because, like, I don't know why. I don't know if he's like that anymore. But it's easier for me to go after Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle because they have Netflix money and everything. And the more people who know you, they'll shoot arrows at you and stuff. But I still feel bad about it. I said some pretty mean-spirited, hateful things. And I kind of meant them. But there's a lot of, no, not a lot. Some videos that I put up, there's a hesitation where I'm like, should I do that? So there's a lot. I could have April finished. I could be like going into May with videos, but there's videos that I make and I never put them up because I'm like, nah, that's not good. For instance, I feel like the video that's coming out on November 3rd, which is about nice girls, nice guys, and the performative male and all this stuff, and that's the title of it. I feel like it does not paint me in a flattering light. And I'm gonna leave it up anyway. I look like a douche. And I say just disgusting things, like, but I'm letting it up. If I want to hide it later, like there's some videos I just private them. Like the video where I show my work. I think the title is called Showing My Work. And then I show you that I've been working really hard through the summer and I just keep stockpiling videos and they're already pre-uploaded, so don't worry. I have videos into next year, into next year. And I'm sorry that I'm like a mean person. It's probably not what God wants me to talk about. Study for all you're worth is in the Bible, and I feel like I'm not doing that. Like I'm doing more selfish things. The channel's called Extreme Narcissism TV. I don't see myself as a narcissist. I think maybe because of abuse, childhood abuse, let's just leave it at that, I have some narcissistic tendencies. I really don't, but I'm trying to be honest about myself and say I'm sure there's things about myself that I don't like, that other people don't like, and those are flaws. But the reason my channel is called Extreme Narcissism TV is because I had a girlfriend that was obsessed with her therapist, and if you separate the two words of therapist, it spells the, and then you know the rest of the word. I think that's funny. It's called therapist, and if you take THE off the front, you have the whole rest of the word, and it says the RAPIST. That's funny, but truthful. So I had a girlfriend that was obsessed with her therapist, and I think it had something to do with us breaking up. And I don't want her back. When we break up, it's over. I don't want to go back to anybody, no matter how good they might still look. And besides, anybody that I dated is old now, and I don't want them. So, but anyway, she sent me an email. We tried to get back together, and I said, don't talk to me anymore. And then she saw one of my podcasts, which I think I told her existed. And in that podcast, I talked about how I dated hot slobs, and that the few women that I dated that I got serious about, they're very pretty. I don't deserve them. They're too pretty for me. And that's just, anyone would agree. They would say, yeah, obviously you shouldn't be, why would she do anything to you? Why would she do that with you? You're ugly. I know. I don't know. And maybe it's a charm, which is probably not a good thing. I don't know. Am I charming? I don't think so. So anyway, I said that my girlfriends were hot slobs, and I got specific. And even though you don't know who they are, and I'd like to boast, I would like to brag and show you pictures of who I banged, because they're hot. And even in pictures, you could just look, like, I don't know why. I don't know why anyone would like me, honestly. But I criticized her and a couple other girls, but nobody knew who that was because I didn't name names, because I know enough not to name them by name. Because anyway, so she saw that shit, and then she wrote me an email, and then she said about me being extremely narcissistic, and I didn't even know what it meant. I know the Greek story of Narcissus, or however you pronounce that, where a guy was staring at his own reflection. So I looked up what the word meant because I didn't know what it meant, and I thought it was very funny, because I was like, no, I know people like that. And then it led me down the whole path of like saying, well, no, I'm not narcissistic. But now that's become a buzzword. It's become an epidemic of the day. So she said that I was extremely narcissistic. And then I was like, I was getting ready to have a YouTube channel. And I was like, that's it. Extreme Narcissism TV, like MTV or something like that. And I thought it would be a great thing. And that was probably around 2013. So that's where my channel name came from. Also, sometimes I kind of, I'm not going to say this now, but I have said before, there's one other person that helped me decide, somebody that was near and dear to me that was a narcissist. And I said, I named the channel after them. But really, it's a combination of the two. Not that anybody asked. So I thought it was I thought it was a great name for a channel, because I'm sitting down telling you things that I think that other people would want to hear on my global public access channel. I just sit down and I talk and say whatever I want. And I thought that's very narcissistic. And I just figured out what the word meant, and the timing was perfect for me figuring out how YouTube worked, how I could put videos on YouTube and send my RSS feed from SoundCloud to iTunes and get the little thumbnail thing, and join the wave of like 30,000 or 8,000 or whatever it was comedy podcasts I had at the time. And I used to get drunk and high and I'd make stupid videos and embarrass myself and humiliate other people. And I just didn't think anybody I knew would even listen to anything that I did. Except that one person did, and it was somebody that used to let me inside of them. So that's, you know, how ungrateful was I? She would let me climb on top of her and put my thing in her mouth, and here I am calling her a slob. It's not right. And it's very vain, and you know, so narcissist to me means like that you don't care about other people. And I do care about other people. When I realize I've done something that hurts them, it's devastating, and it really does bother me a whole lot. A narcissist wouldn't care. A narcissist finds a way to make it somebody else's fault and then turns it back around on you, or blames everybody else. No accountability. That's narcissism. They're really good at manipulating to varying degrees. A narcissistic person is good at manipulating everything so that nothing's ever their fault. It's always your fault. Like I remember having a particularly bad breakup and going to my mom and trying to explain, you know, like talk about the breakup, and then within 20 minutes of talking to my mom, thinking that maybe she'd cheer me up, which is the wrong thing to do. If you're in a grown-up man, you don't go to your mom for anything. You know what I mean? Because she's just gonna look down on you. So my mom saw me in a weakened state, and she was like disgusted. So I was sad about the breakup, and then within 20 minutes, if that, it was probably more like 10 minutes or something, but let's just say within 20 minutes, I was apologizing to her because the shit that happened like 20 years ago, and I was like, how the hell did that happen? You know, narcissism, that's narcissism. Somebody else comes to you with a personal thing, and then somehow, I just shit on my mom, and then somehow you make it about you. You know, like somebody's telling you a deeply personal thing, and then the next thing you know, it's not about you anymore, whatever. It's about them. Making everything about them, that's narcissism, I guess. So maybe touches of narcissism. It's probably a lot of people have this. It seems to be, because I forget what year it was, but a couple years ago, maybe in 2018 or 19 maybe, that was the buzzword of the year by Webster's, was the word of the year. They have a word of the year every year, one of these dictionary companies. I think it was Webster's, and narcissism was the word of the year. And channels are predicated on this. And if you talk about it really well, interesting thing on YouTube, if you talk about narcissism and you're good at it, you get shadow banned. Dr. Romani, say what you will about her if you even know who she is. She says a lot of good things about narcissism, and her channel gets, squashed a lot for talking about narcissism. Why? Isn't that weird? So anyway, Extreme Narcissism TV, that's my channel's name. But I'm not a narcissist. It bothers me when I've wronged people. And I've done videos where I talk about how I've failed, and that's on me. I've failed with lovers, I've failed with friends, I've failed with family, many times. The only thing that's, as you get older, if you see the ways you failed, you don't want to do that stuff again, and then you try to give advice, and then usually that advice seems like an attack, and then the other person says, fuck you, and then they hate you, and then you have to find a way to go on. I did many times. I have a video coming up somewhere between now and next year where I talk about, I think it's in January, and the video is called Why Do They Always Kill the Messenger? And I talk about what it's like having been a shitty person and then trying to do the right thing, and then how usually people will hate you, and then you get cut out of their lives, or somebody asks you to be honest with them, and then you are honest with them. It's not really what they wanted. They wanted you to tell them what they wanted to hear, not the honest thing, which was the hard thing. Not even in a loving way. It won't be enough. They'll just realize that you know something about them that they thought was a secret, even though everybody knows. And then they think that somebody found out a secret about them that's not good, so then they trash you when your name comes up, so that you don't have credibility. And I have a whole, it's an hour, probably an hour on just talking about why do they always kill the messenger. And it's got a Puritan woman's head on a chopping block with the axe coming down as a thumbnail. So look forward to that. And I keep moving that one around too because it's so personal. I also have a video on my failures with exorcists, and that, famous YouTube exorcists don't like me. That hurts. Yeah. Multiple times I've had repeated encounters with famous YouTube exorcist guy, and he doesn't like me. That hurts so bad because he's a pretty credible guy and his information's great. And what is it about that guy that he don't like in me? And then I heard a story from him where he wanted somebody to teach him exorcism, and the guy wouldn't do it because his heart wasn't right. And I thought, great, my heart's not right. And here I am making this video talking about, and look, wait till you see the video on Monday, you can see how preoccupied in my mind I still am with sex things. And I've done a lot of dirty stuff. I had partners in this, partners in crime, and probably sex magic if you want to be technical about what we did, fornicating. And I loved it, quite frankly. It was a lot of fun, and it's wrong and against God, and I have to take it to God in prayer and say, God, I'm sorry that I think like that I loved all that. I loved doing those things. It was great. And so if I was ever possessed, it was in my balls, probably. I've had mostly, probably exclusively hot demon sex and nothing else. And it's made me pretty miserable. So I just wanted to make a video. I don't know why I wanted to do this one. I just feel like a lot of my stuff is too mean. And I don't know, you tell me. Also, one of the things is, for a couple years, somebody tried to get me to do an interview, but they don't have any content. You don't have any content. So you do an interview with us. Who's us? You don't have anything. I forget the name of, I remember the icon, but I forget what it's called, like Royal Deluxe or Super Deluxe or something like that. And the answer is no, I'm not going to do an interview, probably with anybody. I make video, I'm nobody. Who am I to interview? I'm just a guy. I have nothing, I talk about whatever I want to talk about, but there's nothing particular. I'm like nobody. That's why I do these videos, because I say some pretty outlandish stuff. But also, I think I do say stuff that's truthful, and I'm hoping that the stuff that I say in my free YouTube videos may be useful to you, because when I talk about the things I talk about, I know that I'm not special. Maybe I am to God. I hope so. He never calls me back. I guess it's because my heart's not right. But I'm not special. So I think that the things that I'm willing to share, whether I should or not, are probably relatable to most people. Like, one of the things that seems to be common anymore is at some point you find out that your friends aren't friends. That doesn't happen to everybody. Some people have lifelong friends. That's a fantastic thing. But it's my experience, as well as a lot of other people's experiences, because they brought it to me, is where you find out that your friends aren't really friends, and then you spend a lot of time alone, and then it's sad and depressing, but there's also a lot of learning and growing that comes to that. It just sucks that when that happens nowadays, because people could just stay home and be online all the time, and then they don't make new friends, or it's harder to make friends, or people don't want to make friends because the internet ruined people. And I said it before, it's going to be on Monday's video, where I said, have you noticed how the women that do pornographies are way more beautiful than your most famous actress in the world? Whoever that is. Like, think of your top celebrity movie stars. They have to make their own homespun, leaked, dirty videos. And they're not as, they're not as good as professionally made porn of the most beautiful women in the world doing the nastiest shit. It's sad. When I was growing up, people in porn were ugly, so if there was somebody who's really pretty, you're like, wow, why would she do porn? Usually people in porn were like, they weren't the most attractive people. The Hollywood movie stars and stuff were prettier than the people that you'd see in the dirty movies. Now it's opposite of that, and just to keep up, the celebrities have to make their own dirty videos, and they're usually pretty awful. I mean, I don't know what's out there anymore. I'm kind of out of touch. Like, stuff I seen was years ago. And I'm not seeking that shit out. I'm sure, whatever. I'm sure there's more to come. I just don't know that those people are famous anymore because I don't watch any movies or TV shows. And I'm probably not going back. I don't listen to music. I put music in my videos because I think it feels right. Like, it feels like it makes them better. But that, like, lo-fi chill jams and EDM music and all that stuff and synthwave, that's probably all like CIA psyops things or whatever. That's probably all bad for us, right? It's like to put us in certain brainwave states so that we're docile or something. I don't know. So I'm making another video that you didn't ask for, basically to make excuses for myself, where I'm sorry, like, for my asshole in some of my videos coming up into next year. Maybe I'll take them down. Maybe I'll turn over a new leaf and start again. I've done this several times where I just, the videos aren't good enough. They're not right by God. And I was doing that before I even knew that God was watching. I was like, nah, just something doesn't feel right about my videos. I'll start over again. I think I'm making this video in an effort to be able to leave the videos I've made stand, and then say, well, I did make that video, this video. I did make that video where I said, I know that they're not so great. And then you can notice a change in my content where it gets better. It fluctuates. Sometimes, it's like there's ups and downs in life. Sometimes my videos are nicer and more polite, and then like the video coming out on November 3rd, it's just bleep, bleep, bleep. Or is it the 4th? No, it'll be the 3rd, November 3rd video. And yeah, I'm working on it. I can do better. Also, one of the things, I want to do a whole video on this, but I'll throw it in at the end of this one. Agenda 2030. Why do they have a checklist of things that they want done by 2030. These are the elites, the global elites. This is all that they want these things to be met by 2030. Why is that? Is there something to do with God that's going to happen on 2030 that they're like, we got to have all this shit done by 2030 because God's coming or something. I don't know. How long do we have to live? Makes me think of that occultic David Bowie song, 5 years. Did you ever hear it? Don't listen to it. But it was like they had 5 years left, and you know, is schmaltz, whatever we call it. This is a David Bowie song, doesn't matter. But I was thinking about the Agenda 2030 stuff, and they really have a pressure on to meet these goals by that year. And I thought, this Battle of Gog Magog stuff. Who's Gog and Magog? Is that like two guys? Is two Nephilim giants or something? Or are they two of the old gods? I should research it, right? I should study for all my worth. So, I think there was a comic book character called Magog, wasn't there? So probably it's a demon. Gog, Magog are probably the names of two demons. Probably, right? So, here's a question I have that I don't have an answer to. Is some stuff going to go down by 2030? That's why they have Agenda 2030. Is there some stuff with God where God's going to like shake things up and like, we got to get this stuff done by 2030 because they have some kind of idea about God? I know God said he would come like a thief in the night, but he already did that. How's he coming now? We're people of Revelation 20. What's next? Because we don't know what's going to happen. So I'm just trying to clean up my act, even though, hey, you know, women are so hot that angels were willing to get kicked out of heaven just to bang them. So you can, you know, we're just mortal men. Angels couldn't keep their hands off of human women. You think it was just because they were angry with Dad? You think they were angry with the old man upstairs? That's why they left their posts? No, they're you know what they look like. You like them, right? Me too. I want to do all these things. It's not good. So, sure, I'm sorry. So I'm trying to clean up my act. You know, if I can do better with God, and you know, God knows our hearts. If I can clean up my act, probably my videos will get better. And if they get better, probably they'll be more seen. I don't know what else to say. I feel like if I'm saying something that's right by God, then he'll probably give them a push. Is that a weird thing to say? I'm saying it. So we'll see what I come up with. So don't be surprised if I delete a bunch of videos again. Also, I don't think that I will, because the way that YouTube's set up, you have to have like this accumulation of videos and stuff. So I was doing, my channel was growing, then I deleted everything and started again, and then YouTube knocked me back and they took away all these things that I could do. I could only put 7 thumbnails per 24-hour period, which is bullshit. You know, like I could only try out 7 different thumbnails for videos, because I like to try out different thumbnails for the videos and see which one seems like it will be the best. 7 a day. There's a strike on my channel since 2024. That should be removed. I don't care what anybody says. They said that the strikes on your channel last 3 months. I still have a strike on my channel from 2024. That's bullshit. So anyway, here's, you know, another video from my free global public access channel. Another thing I'm going to put in one of my videos coming up is, do you know that movies are moving pictures? Like, movies used to be shot on film. All of them. So they were pictures. Pictures burned, like single frame pictures. They call it moving pictures because it's literally a series of pictures, and then they move at a rapid rate, and then it gives the illusion of movement. And that's why there's this sort of different quality to film, right? As opposed to digital video and ultra 8K HD, whatever. But that's graven images. Images burned into celluloid, which is animal fat. That's like some kind of occult alchemy stuff. Isn't it like magic? Like magic and witchcraft. The fat of animals and the light of the sun, and then the images are burned, however they're burned. The images are burned into the celluloid. That's graven images. Those images are burned. They're pictures. Each picture's an image. They're played at a fast speed. Moving pictures are graven images. And look at what the movies are about. I have so many DVDs. I don't watch anything. Also, stay tuned for my review of K-pop Demon Hunters, which I saw at somebody else's house because I'm a grandpa. And it's probably a wrong review of it. But, you know, God gets through to us however we can. So the idea maybe that K-pop Demon Hunters could get people to come around to that demons are whispering to us through social media all the time. Maybe that's not such a bad idea to put in people's heads. Maybe it's just revelation of their methods. But, you know, that being said, before my review of K-pop Demon Hunters comes out, they are evil in the movie. Like, the demons have to be sent away. There's no like, we should be friends with the demons. Like, the girl has a crush on a demon and he has to go. The demons have to go. So I'm sure they're gonna make part 2, and then it's gonna be about the demons and humans should be friends, and then they can shit on it. So anyway, I don't know what this video is, but it's going out anyway. I liked my October 31st video, which has the thumbnail of Go Fuck Yourself. I thought it was a good video. Did you see that one? Usually the videos I like get less views than the other ones. I don't know what that's about. And it's a thing you hear from a lot of artist types and creatives, like the works or whatever. And it's not artwork. Is it really art for me to sit down in front of a camera? Not really. It's the easiest thing to do. Just sit and go and get into trouble. We're going to be held accountable for every word. And now I'm making a video letting you and God know that I know that probably the things that I say are not the best. But if you didn't tell me that I've got to delete it, you're gonna have to call me back. I'm getting frustrated waiting for God to call me back. What are you trying to mold and shape me into? Pick up the phone. Anyway, pray to God. I would say no matter what, I have a lot of weak moments where I just feel tired and weary because the people I care about just keep kicking my ass because the devil's got them. And I have to keep praying. I have to keep praying anyway. The closer you get to God, the more the devil's going to try, and forces of Satan or whatever you want to call it, are going to try and have people treat you like dirt. Probably. I'm gonna go now. So this is what it is. I feel like I should do this whole video over again. It could be shorter, like 20 minutes long. I'm gonna go now. Pray to God. Amen.